my god, what the fuck? Is it like an SCP? Hello? This is like something you would see like on Reddit. SCP 42069.
For his bravery, he was promoted to the rank of corporal.
But imagine being outranked by a fucking bear, man. He was wrestling, drinking, smoking. He was living like the ultimate boy life. Do you guys remember learning about how cooked Australia is? Yeah, more cooked Australia.
Komodo dragons are horror villains. I mean, seriously, this industrial-sized lizard is easily one of the biggest assholes in the animal kingdom.
This is the only real dragon, right? The real dragon in real life.
When it comes to hunting methods, packing a PhD in suffering and a double degree in biological warfare purely because they cannot be.
Wait, let me guess. I think they have like venom or acid spit. I think if I remember correctly, I think I heard about them. They're literally like a fucking Dungeons and Dragon. They're literally like a Dungeons and Dragon creature. Acid spit, by the way. What the hell?
Expending effort to hunt. You see, Godzilla's little cousin here is the largest lizard in the world, weighing up to 166 kilos.
Oh my, wait, what? He did not look that big. What? He did not look that big in the video. What? That's like a fucking average American.
And being a full 3.1...
Oh my, they're gigantic. What the fuck? They're like alligators. They're huge. What?
3 meters in length, which means, for the short kings in my audience, if...
Me and chat, by the way. Me and chat, by the way.
If you're brave enough, bang a motor transport right there. Now, being the reptile equivalent of a Cadillac Escalade means that the Komodo dragon needs to consume a lot of calories to keep that bulk going. However, rather than using that bulk to proactively chase down and body slam its prey...
Wait, how's it even hunt anyone? It's so slow. It's like walking around so slowly. How's it hunting anything?
Take down prey 3 times their size, because as if being a reptilian tank was not enough, they are also venomous. And this isn't just your run-of-the-mill snake venom that, you know, gives you a nice quick 15-minute death. No. A Komodo hunt starts with it running up to its prey and giving it a nice big chomp on the leg, injecting it with hemorrhagic venom. After biting, the Komodo dragon off and just sits there watching. The confused and bewildered animal runs off into the forest, leaking blood, allowing that Komodo dragon to track it like a DoorDash order. A week goes by, and that bite wound isn't...
A week? 7 days? It takes 7 days to die from this venom? How does it even work? How is Komodo dragon even eat them? It follows after the buffalo for 7 days? There's no way. Like, it's like made up. Someone like wrote this somewhere for fun. Like, this is not real. Okay,
because hemorrhagic venom prevents blood clots. So, the animal is still slowly bleeding out, and the Komodo is still watching. More time passes. That bite wound gets infected.
Wait, more time than 7 days. More time than 7 days.
Because Komodos are carrion feeders, meaning that the inside of their mouth is full of enough rotting flesh and bacteria to give Asmongold a run for his money.
His fucking reaction to drinking water is crazy, by the way. His reaction to just drinking normal water. It's hard not to make fun of him. Why is he gagging after tasting water? Are you okay?
Infection begins to drain the animal's strength.
It's the most insane clip. It's literally, he takes a sip of Fiji water and he's like, instantly, what the fuck?
A run for his money. The infection begins to drain the animal's strength, and the Komodo is still watching. Another week passes. The infection has spread.
Wait, how long does it take?
And the flesh...
Oh my god, we're talking about multiple weeks. How long is it fucking... Like, does Komodo dragons only eat once every 3 weeks? What the fuck is going on?
Has begun to rot. And you best believe that ass lizard is still there watching like he's waiting...
What? Why is he in the cook chair? Why is he in the fucking cook chair in the corner?
For his meal to heat up in the microwave. Once the bleeding, disease-ridden animal becomes too exhausted to move on its own and collapses, the Komodo strolls over and eats it alive, shredding it into chunks if it's larger, or if it's small enough, swallowing it whole as it screams on the way down. Even for me,
Wait,
man,
what?
that's fucked. Komodo drag.
What? He said even for me, that's fucked. And he's like, he's the guy. He's the guy.
This pigeon saved an entire army battalion.
Heroes never die.
Introducing our protagonist, Cher Ami, a carrier pigeon who was in the employ of the US Army Signal Corps during World War I. You see, back in the
Wait, fact check. Is that the right rifle? Okay, it's the right rifle. It's the right rifle.
War I. You see, back in the oldie times, radio technology was kind of dog shit. So carrier pigeons were still the meta for DMing the homies memes over distance. Which is how, in 1918, our feathered little shock trooper here ended up in France, with 500 US soldiers stuck 3 kilometers behind enemy lines, completely cut off from supply and reinforcement in a 7-day shootout. You see, Cher Ami's battalion, juiced up on freedom and red crayons, had overextended and become trapped, surrounded on all sides by
Macro issue. We need to, you know, this is silver mistakes.
German soldiers. And to make matters worse, being stuck behind enemy lines meant they were now on the receiving end of US defense spending, being absolutely hammered with friendly artillery.
But aren't these Germans? Aren't these Germans? It's a German hat now. Also, I know it's not Americans because Americans would never wear hair in protection. Americans would never ever wear hair in protection. Smile. Never.
Now, stuck as far away as they would have had more luck using their radio as fucking nunchucks than a comms device. So they began sending out carrier pigeons in an attempt to tell command to stop fucking shelling them and help on the point. However, the Germans were having none of that shit and shot every single carrier pigeon the battalion sent out of the air like they were running an AIM Labs warm-up.
Kovacs? Wait, 1914 Kovacs? Holy...
Until only one remained, Cher Ami. Desperate and rapidly running out of soldiers, the battalion wrote a message and attached it to Cher Ami, sending him into the air and watching him sail above the trees. And just when they thought he was clear, some f***ing sweat on the German side nailed him. The battalion
some fucking sweaty tryhard out here with a rifle.
in horror as their last hope spiraled out of the sky. The bullet tore straight through Cher Ami's center of mass, destroying one eye, punching a hole through his chest, and blowing off one of his legs. And this Giga Chad of an animal tanked it.
Do you have any ibuprofen? I got a headache.
The Marines watched in awe as this mangled pigeon picked itself out of the mud and managed to fly clear of German fire.
There's no way. There's no way. Is that possible? Like, I'm just imagining how big a pigeon is. If it like went blind and lost its leg and like it's like mutilated. Like, what are you talking about? There's no way. There's no way.
Cher Ami made it the whole way back to base, delivering the message and saving a total of 194 soldiers. Not only did he get the job done, but he f***ing lived. He was granted one of the highest military honors the French army could provide and sent into retirement with his trainer. And when he eventually
Never think he can go see? Really? Like, he can go see it? It's stuffed for him like this?
and sent into retirement with his trainer. And when he eventually did pass several years later, he was preserved and placed in the Smithsonian, where you can go see him today.
What? And this is how I look after waking up after a drink stream. This is how I look and feel after I wake up after a drink stream.
Australia doesn't just have snakes and spiders. It has...
Well, it's Komodo dragons too, right? The 3 worst creatures in the whole world. Komodo dragons, spiders, snakes. Wait, does Australia have scorpions?
a tiger. Well, kinda. Introducing the thylacine, better known as the Tassy tiger. As the name suggests, native to my home state of Tasmania, this tiny little island off Australia's south coast. No, that is not
I thought this was extinct, no? Isn't this animal
New
extinct?
Zealand. They have hobbits, not tigers. Oh, tiger isn't entirely correct. You see, the thylacine isn't a cat on steroids. You see, this bad boy is the largest carnivorous marsupial on the planet. Despite the kangaroo coming in at 7 foot tall and throwing kicks like Chun-Li, they are herbivores. and everything else with a pouch that eats meat is about the size of a chihuahua, making this 1.3 meter, 20 kilo kangaroo dog with a tiger persona the only marsupial.
Komodo dragons live in the Malaysian island of... They don't live in Australia? Wait, there's no way Australia is getting out Australia by a different country. Australia, the land of every single despicable demonic entity, are getting out Australian by Indonesia. That's crazy. Australia?
Apex predator. See, these things were
Apex predator, excuse me?
apex predator.
Stupid fucking mistakes, man. Stupid fucking mistakes, man.
See, these things were ambush hunters, using stealth and speed to silently take down their prey like they're playing Assassin's Creed. On top of being a fully qualified Spec Ops agent, these things had a mouth on them to rival Kirby.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Is this like an SCP? Hello? This is like something you would see like on Reddit, SCP. SCP-42069.
Capable of opening their jaw a full 80 fucking degrees, which
It doesn't look real. It doesn't look real. Are we serious?
is absolutely
What? It's literally a fucking scary Instagram picture.
terrifying and really cool. There's just one small problem. You may have picked up on me talking mostly in the past tense, and that
My question is why? Why would you need that? Why would you need to open your mouth so wide? What evolutionary advantage was that? To eat like entire melons in one bite, I guess? What?
all of this footage is in black and white. That's because we don't have a tiger. We had one. Unfortunately, the thylacine was driven to extinction in the late 1980s. By what exactly? The British. You see, when the Brits, did their thing and decided Tasmania was their house now, actually, they brought with them livestock, namely sheep and cattle, which was a fucking blessing to the Tassy tiger, which rapidly added these walking meatballs with the survival instincts of a wet sock to their meal plans.
It's free real estate.
The colonists did not take kindly to the
It's giant terminal mate. It's not that big now. It's only 20 kilograms. The Tassy tiger is only 20 kilograms. It's not pretty big.
thylacine taking their livestock without a license in it, so
Why,
they
mate?
placed bounties on their heads. Never mind that these things never attacked humans and very rarely took their livestock. No, they were an inconvenience. And so, they were hunted down. One by one by one. For 70
Fucking British.
years.
Why is it always the British? And when something bad happens, it's either Germany, British, or America.
Until September 7th, 1936, when the last thylacine, Benjamin, died cold and alone in a cage at the Hobart Zoo. Usually I'd end these with a joke, but the fact that we wiped his entire bloodline and turned him into a fucking rug isn't that funny. This bird is a vampire. Introducing the
Can I get some cat sevens for Tasmanian? Can I get some cat sevens for the cat seven or the Tasmanian? Some cat sevens, please. Thank
vampire
you.
ground finch, native to the Galapagos Islands, and a great example of the horrifying affronts to the universe that evolution can produce when it decides to do a little trolling. Now you see, at first glance, this is the most boring vampire you can possibly imagine. Coming in at a measly 12 centimeters and a mere 20 grams in weight.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
Rocking a feather pattern I can best describe as a Minecraft dirt block, and as it turns out,
Yeah, why is he flaming though? Why we're 30 seconds in and he's just flaming and hating this little bird. What the hell?
the bastards that wrote Twilight lied to me because it doesn't even fucking sparkle.
This is the skin of a killer, Bill.
So if it's missing fangs, angst, a cape, and the funny accent,
You must bounce on it.
how does it qualify as a vampire? Simple.
What are you saying?
Drinks a shitload of blood. You see, most birds eat seeds and insects, and while the vampire finch can eat those too, there is a problem. They live on an island, and that island is very small. In fact, they're only found on 2 of the Galapagos Islands, and small islands means a far smaller amount of that food to go
I'll search it up
around. To
somewhere.
the point where these finches can't rely on it as their sole source. Which for a bird usually isn't a problem, because, they don't need a plane ticket to just f*** off and fly somewhere. However, as the name suggests, the vampire ground finch can't fly for shit. So, how...
Okay, no, but actually though, if there's one thing that is the most cucked in evolution, it's birds with wings that can't fly. Those are right. Evolution cucked those animals so much.
But they get their food? They suck it out of someone that can. This, don't laugh, is the Nazca booby. Hey, stop giggling back there.
It's
Another
like
species
booby.
of bird native to the islands. They are very strong flyers that feed on fish. They also nest on the islands, which is where our feathery
What about emu
Nosferatu
and
comes to play.
ostrich?
You see,
Now, even ostrich then are like gigantic. They're like a 20-gram-old creature. They're like and emus notches. They don't even have like huge wings.
when the boobies, stop giggling, come to roost, the vampire finch will sneak over and hop onto their back. Then, using their razor-sharp beak, they will poke a very small, borderline painless hole into one of the bird's flight feathers. Once the blood is flowing freely, the vampire finch gorge themselves.
Wait, it's literally it. The vampire finch is like a big mosquito. What the fuck? It literally jumps on the animal's back and drinks its blood. It's literally a mosquito. Big mosquito.
See, as it turns out, blood is macro-friendly. And considering these things are living creatures, they just make more blood. In essence, giving the vampire finch an infinite food source. In fact, they can get so much blood from these birds, it is not uncommon to see multiple finches sucking from the same booby.
Okay, bro. From the same booby.
This bear was actually a soldier. But how? You see, it was 1942, and the 22nd Polish Artillery Company were passing through the mountains of Iran.
Wait, I think I heard about this one. It's like some soldiers like pet bear, no?
On their way to the front lines to fight the Nazis. While passing through a town on their way, they were stopped by a young Iranian shepherd looking to trade with them for rations and a Swiss Army knife. When the Poles asked what he had to offer in return, the young shepherd produced a burlap sack containing an orphaned Syrian brown bear cub. You see, this bear's mother was shot by hunters, which is how he ended up in a low-tech Pokeball being offered as a trade deal. The Polish looked at the bear and, clearly seeing the potential for insane dad lore, said,
Damn good deal.
and in the most worthwhile trade deal in history, parted
Insane
ways
dad
with their
lore is
supplies
crazy
in
work.
exchange for a f***ing Pokemon, adopting him into their ranks and naming him Wojtek. And the 22nd immediately set about raising this little man as a proper bear and soldier.
Maggots!
As a baby, they would feed him condensed milk out of an empty vodka bottle, as well as feed
Of course. They're so Polish. They're so Polish. They're like satirizing themselves. Condensed milk out of vodka bottles to bears. Okay.
feeding him on the cartoon bear diet consisting of fruit, honey, and marmalade. They also appointed a soldier as his caretaker who wasted no time in showing Wojtek how to fit in with the rest of the army, teaching Yogi's little cousin to wave, salute, and even march. While not undergoing rigorous military training, Wojtek would hang out with the soldiers. He drank coffee with them in the morning, trained with them in the day, and when they all got shit-faced in the evening, he would f***ing wrestle with them. Do you know how much a brown bear has to love you to wrestle you? On top of double rations, they would also feed Wojtek treats in the form of beer and cigarettes. They let the bear...
You can't make this up. What? They fed him treats, VB long neck, and cigarettes.
have smoko.
Okay.
Eventually, Army High
That's my
Command
kind of bear.
heard about this and were having absolutely none of it. You see, pets were not allowed in the army, which meant Wojtek had to go. Or did he? Because the 22nd Artillery Company officially enlisted him.
I'm doing my part.
Wrestling with a bear while shit-faced is just like your normal evening after working as a soldier all day long. What? Like if you're fucking artillery regiment. That's normal part of our day, you know? Empty vodka bottles strewn about, wrestling bears.
Doing my part.
That's what it is.
my part.
Wojtek was given a serial number and granted the rank of private, so when confronted about the very conspicuous bear in their ranks, they simply went, "That's not a bear, that's Private Wojtek."
He's so big, what the fuck?
Wojtek took his new role very seriously, as during the Battle of Monte Cassino in 1944, Wojtek began using his bulk to transport artillery shells and ammo to soldiers engaged in combat. They had a fucking resupply bear. For his bravery, he was promoted to the rank of corporal, and the 22nd changed their
Imagine being outranked by a fucking bear, man.
insignia to a bear carrying an artillery shell. This absolute unit smoked, drank, and dropped artillery on the Nazis.
It's absolute monster. He was wrestling, drinking, smoking. He was living like the ultimate boy life. What? He was living the ultimate boy life. What? No responsibilities. Smoking, drinking, fucking, wrestling, outranking bears. Like, he's actually living the ultimate life. What the fuck?